The fast of Esther, what is the fast of Esther all about fixing? That the entire problem was the beginning of the Megillah starts with us being nanimous sudasa shalosa rasha, that we're taking pleasure in the sud of Achashverosh. By the way, was the sud kosher?
Yes.
Kosher, glatt kosher. Mordechai was the mashgiach. You can't get a better mashgiach than that. Glatt kosher. But that's in a charedis. There was only one problem. Mordechai said, don't go to the Suda. Don't go to the Suda. He went once the Jews were already there to make sure that everything was kosher. But he said, don't go to the Suda. We were nene. We got a little bit too involved in the Suda of Achashverosh. And from that, everything started to spin out of control. And therefore, as a preparation for the day of Purim, how do you fix getting a little bit too involved in the physical world, getting lost in the sauce? You need a fast day. So the fast of Esther is a fixing of just getting it clear. I don't want to let the powers of my body, the powers of just physical draw to guide my life. I want the powers of my soul to guide my life, and my body will follow the will of my soul. Because your soul is like the driver. Your body is like the car. Your soul is the driver, your body is the car. So there's the car. Nowadays the cars have a mind of their own. You got to be careful. Be careful with those cars. It's like, I love Teslas.
Cool.
That's cool. I'm fine with that.
Or did put a patent on a self-repossessing car.
What's that?
If you don't make the payments, the car will drive itself back to the Ford.
Yeah, so that's an interesting point. You don't make payments on the, so they just lock the doors on you, or the seating doesn't warm up. But it's so cool, like, you want to see my car? It's in somewhere in Jersey. I can honk it right now from Jerusalem. Wow, unbelievable. Okay, there's some value to that, I imagine. But even those cars, they don't drive by themselves. Somebody programmed them to drive. They're programmed to drive, which means there's some rider. It's not the car. There's a rider. The idea of the body is that the body has its own AI system that's trying to bring you towards the Suda of Achashverosh. The AI of the body is, let me go to the Suda of Achashverosh. Let me take pleasure in all the delicacies of this world, even if they're kosher. But the tzaddik emes, Mordechai tzaddik, is always guiding us. There's always a tzaddik, there's always a higher consciousness that's guiding you and saying, be careful where you take this car. Be careful of making sure that you don't go on auto drive. Make sure that you are driving your vehicle based on the das of the rider, and the rider being your neshama, your soul. So Mordechai was cautioning us, don't come to the Suda of Achashverosh. Sadly, we went. And therefore, we need a fixing of that. That's the fast of Esther. Because every single culture, the world over, any type of spiritual seeking always involves fasting. Every culture. There's none that don't include that. There's always some element of rising to the next level. There has to be some just removal from the pure physicality, albeit for a short amount of time, but then to reintegrate from a healthy perspective. So the fast of Esther is going to be this day of just refocus and getting ready for Purim. Because on Purim, are we going to engage in the physical world? Yankel, are we going to engage in the physical world?
We're going to elevate it.
So, we're going to be in it, right?
We're
going to be in it to win it and elevate it. There's going to be a physical world, even though Purim, Yom Kippur is called Purim. Yom Kippurim is just a day like Purim. Purim's the real day. Yom Kippur is just a day like Purim. Yom Kippur is the day that we say that we have to leave this world. We have to taste what our soul completely tastes like above this world. But Purim is the day that we say that we could take our soul and re-emerge back into this world in a totally holy way. But in order to do that, you need a bit of a Tainus Esther. You need the day before, a bit of a Yom Kippur before the Purim. Can't have Purim before Yom Kippur. Otherwise, you never get to Yom Kippur. You need Yom Kippur as a way of just separating of realizing I am a neshama, I'm the rider. But the car can also be elevated. If I take the car and do holy things with it, so it elevates the car as well. So that's Purim, is we hope that this entire year, Purim is the end of the year. That by the end of the year, and then we're going to begin the cycle again, Pesach time. For those that will get to be together, Baruch Hashem, that's the mamish beginning of the new cycle. Purim is the end where you take all that light, all that ore, all that consciousness, and you bring it all the way in, all the way in, all the way down. And therefore we engage in this world and we elevate this world and we show that this world is only you, Hashem. So far, so good. The next step that I want to mention is a famous concept, is that every single year we have a concept in the Torah that the energy that happens on a certain day in the calendar always returns on that day. Okay? So in the times of Purim, Asher Sibru Oyevei HaYehudim Lishloit Behem, that the enemies of the Jews trying to rise up and do not nice things. And sadly, because of what happened with the Sud of Achashverosh, so there was a decree against Klal Yisrael, and because of the idol worship, etc., that was happening, there was a decree. But the end of the story is Asher Yishlatu v'nahafaychu, that everything flipped upside down, and all of Haman's plot was foiled, and everything that he tried to do to Mordechai was done to him. So that energy of flipping everything around is put inside the calendar, and we see this from the bracha that we make. What's the bracha that we always make on a special time of Nisim, of the CHAG of Nisim? So there's the Shechianu, and there's also Ala Nisim. Ala Nisim, what do we say on Ala Nisim? Sha'asa Nisim Lava Yiseinu, that you did Nisim, you did miracles to our forefathers, Bayamimahem, in those days, Bazman Hazeh, today. What do you mean? You did miracles in the times of Mordechai and Esther. What do you mean, Bazman Hazeh? Where's Mordechai? Where's Esther? Where's Haman? Where's Achashverosh? You know where they are?
Here.
They're here, and they're inside of you. There's a Mordechai inside of you. There's an Esther inside of you. Mordechai is the tzaddik. Esther is Malchus, the queen. There's a Haman inside. There's an Achashverosh inside. All of these are evil traits inside of us. And just like in those days, Hashem took all of that evil energy that was trying to destroy us, and He flipped it upside down. Bayamimahem, just like it was in those days, Bazman Hazeh, it's going to be today. Now, by the way, that means you have to be careful, because there's going to be, during these days now, not sure if you're feeling it, there can always be little Hamans. Little Haman, Haman had a lot of kids, by the way, a lot. He was very not faithful as a husband. So there's a lot of little Hamans running around, sadly, which is a very non-Torah concept. And he's inside of our consciousness. So there's going to be all sorts of rising up of that kind of negative psychology inside of us. And then, if you do Purim properly, you get to flip all that around. And all the things that you thought were trying to destroy you, really Hashem was there just trying to help you. All the things that you thought were something that was going to destroy you, Hashem is there trying to help you. Make a bracha on this. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam shehakol niyeh b'dvaroi.
Amen.
These Chevra are so good. Chevra Mitzchai. It's friends of ours from Ramat Beit Shemesh. Raw, fresh juices. Gewaldig. Mamish. It's also the springtime. It's Kedai. Do a little bit of a cleanse. It's a good idea. So, Bayamimahem bezman hazeh, in those days, also today. Now, not only that, but we have a concept that Hashem puts spiritual energy into time. He puts it into time, and Hashem carves it into time, which is called a machzor. All of time is called a machzor. There's like a wheel of time. And Hashem puts a spiritual energy and He carves it into that time. So it's not just that that energy was released into the world, but once you come back to that same time, that energy gets unlocked. It's carved into that time. We have a similar idea that anybody know there's a special blessing we make on the sun? Anybody heard about that?
Oh, it's like once every it's Yom Kippur on Yovel year, I believe?
So once every 28 years, the sun returns to the same place that it was in the creation of the world on day 4. Once every 28 years, we make a special blessing with all sorts of tehillim and all sorts of, and ideally you make it with 600,000 people. Rabbi Yom Tov told me that when he made that bracha, so he was like, he has a loud voice, they put him in charge to make the bracha, like in Ner Sharm, like he went to one of the high spots, and just packed, the streets are packed, so he just belted out the bracha, just for thousands and thousands of people to hear it. Oh, man. It's a very powerful thing. I remember when I first got to Eretz Yisrael, it was like the last time we did it about 15 years ago or so.
That's 30 more years.
So yeah, we're getting there. It's one of those things like you only get a few times in your whole life until 120 years, Mitzvah Hashem, long lives, but you only have a few times. But at that moment, there's a very powerful spiritual energy coming into the world of renewal, of the beginning of what the sun means, what it means when it was created on the 4th day. It's all powerful and relevant. Wanted to say, Yankib?
No.
Also, we have a concept, the Gemara Rosh Hashanah says, that Klal Yisrael, b'nisan nigalu, b'nisan asin lihigoyel. That when were the Jews saved from Egypt? In Nisan, in the Hebrew month of Nisan. So just like we were saved in Nisan, the month of Nisan, which is the next month, is going to start in 3 weeks, 2 weeks now, is very auspicious for salvation. Just like we were saved in Nisan, we came out of Egypt, that energy of being saved is going to come around once again, and we will be saved once again. Also, the night of Pesach is called what? Anybody know? Leil Shi Murim, a night of guarding, a special night of guarding. So the pasuk says, people should look this up, it's in Shmois Exodus 12:52, a beautiful pasuk, 12:42. Halayla hazel Hashem, this shall be a night of guarding, Shimurim lekol b'nei Yisrael l'doyroisam, will be a night of guarding for you for all the generations. Meaning this became a night of guarding, it will be a night of guarding for all the generations in the time to come. So too it is with Sukkot. In the times of Sukkot, we download simcha and protection for the entire year. The Jews leave their homes, and we go and sit in booths, that Hashem is the one that's protecting us. And this is carved into us and carved into time. So what about Purim? So too on Purim, that same energy, there's going to be a Haman. Watch your psychology, watch your thoughts, be careful of Haman. And then there's going to be a Vanahafeichu. It's going to be a flipping around of all the things, all your monkey brain. The month of Adar is all about the monkey. All the things that are chatting in your ear. You're not good, you can't do this, you can't do that. You're a nobody, you're not this, you're not worthy. All of that talk, get ready to flip that around. And see that that's only you. Hashem, it was only you. It's only there to make me better. Now, because we're at the end of the year, I just have to leave you with one more nugget of something delicious. At the end of the year, the end is a time called Malchus. Malchus means the end of the story, the end of all of the energy, and the whole year being created and built up. That's why we spoke a lot this year about how Rosh Hashanah, everything is written, what your year is going to be like. And then in Yom Kippur, it's sealed. And then don't worry, it's not finished yet on Hoshana Rabbah. Remember that? Hoshana Rabbah. Then all the notes start to go up. We say good kfittel, start to go and be handed over to the king. But really, he doesn't read them. He doesn't act on them until Zois Chanukah. But really, the Kedushas Levi says, when is it really done? That actually the year that Malchus has been rebuilt. That's Purim. Purim is the end of the story, and Hashem saved it till the end because He knew that we would do tshuva out of Ava, that we could flip everything around. Even if your year hasn't been exactly as great as you wanted it to be, or the things that you were thinking about in Rosh Hashanah, you could change still everything on Purim. But then it's actually done, because they were starting the new system, the light coming down on Pesach once again. But now we're at the end of the year, which is Malchus, and Malchus has nothing. Malchus has no energy. Malchus is just like one point. One of the secrets of Malchus is that all the other 9 spheres are, so to speak, not there. Malchus is like an empty bowl. There's nothing there. It only has what's called the light of Keser. All the other midas are generally afraid, so to speak. They go up. Because if they spend too much time in Malchus, you know what's below Malchus? The dark side. So Malchus is very vulnerable to Klippa. It's very vulnerable to negative things latching onto it. That's why, sadly, Purim, some people think it's just like some type of Halloween. There's a lot of bad vibes. Stay away from those, my friends. If anybody invites you to some Purim rave, those 2 words should never exist together. Just run in the opposite direction. Run fast. There's a lot of dark energy that could try to latch on to Purim. And therefore, it's the day that you need to do 4 specific mitzvahs to enliven Malchus, that it pushes away the dark forces. Mitzvah number 1, Matanis Levyonim, gifts to the poor. Who's called poor? Malchus is called poor. Malchus doesn't have any energy of itself. You have to give gifts to the poor. That's giving life to the Malchus. Then what do you need to do? The Megillah. The Megillah is like Zer Anpin. Megillah is like the Vav. Okay, we're going from Hashem's name, Yud Kei Vav Kei, we're going up. So the Hey, that's the bottom Hey, that's Malchus. That's Matanas Levyonim. What's the Vav? That's the Megillah. Look, the Megillah is like one long Vav. The Megillah is where all the blessing starts flowing in. So you have Matanas Levyonim, you give money to the poor. Avyonim is called Malchus, that's the Shechina. You give her some life. Then you pour blessing in through Megillah. Yes?
It's like Alel, I heard the Megillah, Rob.
Pardon?
It's like Alel.
That's right. The Megillah is called Hallel. When you say the Megillah, the Gemara says, why don't we say Hallel on Purim? So the Gemara says that the Megillah reading is the Hallel. That is Hallel on Purim. Either it wasn't a full Yeshua, or it is Hallel. So we do say Hallel. That's the Megillah. The Megillah is very, very important. So really you should get Matanas Levyonim before Megillah, or the morning, even the morning before you read the Megillah, ideally. Then you have Megillah reading. That's the Vav. Then what's the Hey, the upper Hey? That's Mishloach Manas, Ish L'Riyeyu. That's Chachma and Bina, they're called lovers, Ish L'Riyeyu. So give Mishloach Manas. And then how do I get to the Yud of Hashem's name? How do we get all the way up? That's the drinking, that's the Suda. That's, people think like, I'm just going to jump to the Yud. You can't jump to the Yud. You need to have Matanas Levyonim. And the Megillah is the Vav that connects the top part of Hashem's name to the bottom of Hashem. You need the Megillah. That's why don't drink on the night of Purim. There's no mitzvah to drink on the night of Purim. Drinking on the night of Purim usually makes problems for a guy that he wakes up the next morning. He's like, oh, I didn't hear Megillah. Oh, is there any Megillah reading? Like, bro, like we're already getting ready for the Suda. Like, what do you think? Oh, I got to rest a little bit. No, you messed it up. The Suda during the day, that's the time of the drinking, not at night. And I told you, the Chidah says that the Yetzer Hara dresses up like somebody you know every year.
So you drink a little bit in the night?
A little bit. When it comes to drinking, here's the formula. Buy the best bottle of wine that you can afford. Ideally get 2 of them, the best you can afford. Zei Keli Van Veyu, Hider Mitzvah. The best bottle of wine you can afford. 1, 2, and that's it. You don't need any more. You have a nice cup of that at night. A nice cup.
Well.
Pardon?
You guys should sleep well.
Yeah, a nice cup. You don't need that. At night, it's Yom Tov. So there's a mitzvah of having basar yayin, like a regular meal, regular Yom Tov meal. Eat a little bit of basar, yayin, something nice for the night. So for us in Yerushalayim, Baruch Hashem, we live in Yerushalayim, Rabbi Yisrael. Purim the Mukafin, unbelievable. That's Tuesday night. So to have a little basar yayin, and that's it. Spend the night learning. Spend the night davening. Some people finish all of Tehillim that night. Some people finish all of Maseches Megillah that night. The Baal Shem Tov said it's kedai to daven nates if you can. If it's going to mess up your seder, don't do it. Then better to daven yeshiva. And then you wake up the next morning, and you're on mitzvah mode. You're busy that morning. Matanas Lav Yonim, most of you are already given out. Then the Megillah, you have to go to Shachris, Megillah reading, Megillah is long. Megillah reading, and then Mishloch Manas. You're going around with your foods and things to all the people you know. And there's a lot of traffic on Purim. So that it's busy. Then you've got to daven mincha, and then you have the Suda. So the Suda is the time when you get to the Yud. The Suda is the time you get to the Yud and you go above the Yud. You get Adelo Yada. You go up, 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 up. But that's the time. It's during the day. The day is the Iker. The night, watch out. There's always one guy that reaches in his pocket. You want some of this, man? There was something that the Latino guys kept telling me. Some name of some like black liquor. It's strong stuff. They're like, it's something like that. I don't know. But just be careful.
Of the Latinos?
No, I love Latinos. Just be careful of anybody coming around with some bottle that looks questionable on the night of Purim. Just, give them like, shkoya, shkoya with your green drink. Shkoya, shkoya. Just be careful, because it doesn't always go in a good direction. You got to wake up early. You have mitzvahs to do. And you want to be able to get up to the Yud of Yud Kei Vav Kei. Right? So just go easy at night. Get yourself ready. You're building up. When you start drinking, the best thing is just go slow. To drink, get a cup, sing for about half an hour before you drink it. And then make a Bori Pri Agofen, drink. Allow the taste of really good red wine to just fill every cell of your being. And then just ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya da 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 da, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya da 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 da, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya da 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 da. Oh yeah, 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 la 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 la, yeah, la 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 la, da da da. You can imagine if you're doing that after one full glass and just and then another half an hour later, pour another glass, and you begin like the SpaceX journey, all the way up. That SpaceX gets you nowhere compared to where we're going. We go all the way up, all the way up, all the way up to Yesod Abba, and Yesod Abba comes down. This is like the real stuff. But go slow. It's not a frat party. There's no keg stands. There's no, excuse my language, stupid beer hats with tubes and things and camelbacks. Just go slow. Go slow. And before you start, just say, Hashem, everything I'm about to do is to be close to you. Everything I'm about to do is that there's a great light coming down from heaven once again. The Shem Hashem Naseh v'Natzliach. I want to do it in your name, Hashem. That you gave me a great mitzvah once a year. That this great light is opening up on Purim. I want to deeply connect my soul to you. That's all I want to do. That's simple kavanah. Just remember to have that. Hashem, I want to connect myself to you forever through the mitzvahs. Mitzvah comes in language tzavtza, which means deep connection. I want to deeply, emotionally, intimately connect myself to you through the mitzvahs. I want to bring your light into my life. I want to see a flipping around of all the things that I thought were bad in my life, all my troubles. I want to be able to give them l'chaim and see how they're giving me so much life, and it's only all from you, Hashem. And say that to Hashem before you begin. And with that, once you start going, you could be sure Hashem is going to guide you in the right way to all the places that you want to go to. We should be Zoich HaMamish once and for all. La Yehudim Aisa Oira, V'Simcha, V'Sasim, V'Yikar, Kein Tiyalanu. We should be Zoich HaMamish to the Geula Shleima, Meshir Tzidkein, B'Mher V'Min. Amen. 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 Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Yade yade no yada. yada, yade yade lo yada, ade ade lo yada, ade lo yada. Afrei lachem Purim, Rabbi Yisrael.